Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? You guys know my profound love for Spam and how versatile Spam is in general. But the varieties of flavors of Spam make it even more versatile to make all kinds of recipes. Like Chorizo Spam Breakfast Scramble, Meat Lovers Bloomin' Spamian, the Ultimate Egg Slut Sandwich, Classic Spam Musubi, Grilled Spam Hawaiian Pizza, Candy Spam and Macadamia Nut Cookies. And when you have a love and addiction to Spam like I do, you make your own homemade Spam. So today, I'm trying teriyaki flavored Spam and making Spam Hawaiian fried rice. I don't know why all Spam isn't made with the traditional 7 ingredients, besides the different seasonings made to make different flavors. But teriyaki Spam and quite a few other flavors of Spam have additional ingredients to include mechanically separated chicken, and, obviously, different seasonings for the different flavors of Spam. I just can't understand why they just don't stick to the classic pork shoulder and ham. There's 6 2-ounce servings in all normal-sized cans of Spam. Per 2-ounce serving, the teriyaki flavored Spam has 160 calories, 12 grams of total fat, 4 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 40 milligrams of cholesterol, 670 milligrams of sodium, 5 carbohydrates, no fiber, 4 grams of sugars, and 7 grams of protein. On the back of the can, there's a breakfast musubi recipe that sounds absolutely fantastic that has eggs and bacon along with the normal Spam, rice, and nori. I'll definitely be trying that soon, so stay tuned. You can fry, bake, or microwave Spam, but putting Spam in the microwave is the most disrespectful thing you can do to the glorious Spam. It's a must to get a nice crispy crust on the outside of Spam, which you cannot get in a microwave. So if you're microwaving your Spam, stop it. Let's open up the can, get it out, and give it a try. As soon as I opened up the can, the first thing I noticed was it was obviously darker than regular Spam due to the teriyaki sauce. And you get a whiff of the teriyaki flavor, which smelled really good. So let's cut the teriyaki Spam up into small cubes, give it a taste, and then make some Hawaiian fried rice. You guys already know the deal with my hands, so please don't give me grief about tucking my fingers in. The only knife that is capable of cutting through my skin is the Plastisue. After all, I'm a trained professional. Well, at least I play one on YouTube, and I have Kevlar skin. Here's what it looks like up close. I gave it a try, and this Spam is absolutely delicious. It has a great flavor, but it's more of a garlic flavor than teriyaki, which is fine with me. But I was expecting it to taste more like teriyaki. Either way, it's really good, but the texture is much softer than normal Spam. And I attribute that to the additional ingredients like mechanically separated chicken, which when you get into that phase, this is more like bologna or a hot dog loaf. Hormel, if you're listening, please stop adding chicken to glorious Spam. I found myself continuously eating pieces of the teriyaki Spam. Honestly, I could have eaten it all straight out of the can. I'm asked a lot if you can make stir-fry foods in a skillet if you don't have a wok, and the answer is yes. So that's what I'm going to do today. In a large skillet over medium-high heat, add some oil, and it looks like a lot of oil, but this is all the oil that's going to be used in the whole dish. Once the oil is hot, pour in 3 scrambled eggs. After you pour the eggs in, let them sit for about 30 seconds. This will help keep them from sticking. After 30 seconds, start stir frying and chopping up the eggs. The total cook time for the eggs is about 1 minute, and that includes the first 30 seconds. Once the eggs are just cooked through, take them out of the skillet. Then add the cubed up teriyaki Spam and stir fry for 2 to 3 minutes or until it begins to caramelize and get a nice crispy crust on the outside. Once it's browned up nicely, add fresh, homegrown, organic store-bought minced garlic straight out of the jar, even though it already had a great garlic flavor. You can never have enough garlic, can you? Then add chopped onion and bell pepper, which I normally don't put into fried rice, but this is Hawaiian fried rice. I have no idea why that means it needs bell pepper, but I thought it did to be different. Depending on how big your vegetables are when you cut them up, and how tender you like them, the cooking time will vary. My wife cut these up for me using one of these vegetable choppers, which cut them into pretty small pieces. Smaller than I would normally cut them. But hey, I can't be picky. I didn't have to cut them up. So I'm only stir frying for about 30 seconds because I like tender crisp vegetables. After 30 seconds, add frozen peas and carrots. If you want to use fresh, go for it. Stir fry for another 30 seconds. Then add the bottom white part of some chopped green onion. And then stir fry for another 30 seconds. After stir frying for 30 seconds, add 3 cups of cooked day-old rice and stir fry for 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, add oyster sauce and teriyaki sauce and give it a quick stir fry. Then add sesame oil and the eggs and stir fry for another 30 seconds. Now this next ingredient is optional, but to me, you gotta have it with Hawaiian food. Unfortunately, I found out about the hatred towards this ingredient in the Hawaiian pizza video. But I'm gonna add it anyway. Fresh, organic, homegrown pineapple right out of the can. Along with the tops of green onions. Give that a quick mix. Like I said, this is not your typical fried rice. And I know a lot of you say pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza, and I'm sure you're gonna say it doesn't belong in fried rice either. But I think it's good on pizza, and I think it's gonna be good in this fried rice. Once it's plated up, the only thing left to do is to give it a try. And it certainly looks good, but that doesn't matter. It's how it tastes that counts. So I tried a piece of the cooked teriyaki spam first. Although the flavor was really good, and it got a nice crust on it, the inside texture was totally ruined when it cooked. It's pretty much mush inside. There's no texture to it. It reminds me a lot of treat, which I think is pretty gross. But like I said, flavor-wise, the teriyaki spam is good. So then I tried a bite with a little bit of everything, and it was delicious. The teriyaki sauce is a nice change up to fried rice. I like the crunch of the bell peppers and the onions, and to be perfectly honest, I think the pineapple made this fried rice. The sweetness from the pineapple really balanced out the salt in the spam, the teriyaki sauce, and the oyster sauce. Overall, flavor-wise, this was delicious. I absolutely loved the teriyaki spam out of the can, even though the texture was still a little funky then. But once it was cooked, I did not care for the texture one bit. I would certainly make the Spam Hawaiian fried rice again, but I would use original Spam. So I'm going to give the teriyaki Spam a 6 out of 10. Had the texture been like original Spam, this may have gotten the first 10-point rating out of all the things I've tried so far. The texture is what prevented that. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.